I know I have dabbled in some medicines. Well, my group of people call them medicines. You may call them something different, but anyway, um, and been opened up to seeing some things. But what is your understanding? So you think there's something else after this? Like, what do you think this is?
Is our universe
It's
real?
just ideas.
What
They're just
the reality
ideas.
of your life is now. You are tuned in to the Cosmidelic download.
You are all, everything is divine.
Yeah.
There's no thing
With
that's
your
divine.
host,
Poetry legend, philosopher.
Mark Marcel.
You ready?
Yes.
All right. All right. We are plugged in to the Cosmidelic download. And as you can see with the smile on my face, I am like so delighted to have my guest. I can honestly say this is going to be definitely my favorite guest that I've had on the show. It's going to be a great show. And basically, I have gained so many talents from this woman that she does not know. My work ethic, I really credit to her because I see how tirelessly she works at her job. And I know through the years I've picked up those traits of how you dive into it. Um, but I love this lady so much. I would not be where I am without her. And I want to introduce the public to my mom. How you doing, Mom?
Doing fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. Um, for people who don't know, her name is Gladys Bragg, and she has her own marketing shop called Specialty Marketing Printing in Baltimore, Maryland. She has through the years like done some of my CD cover work and a lot of my art, and I've had banners and stuff like that. So check her out definitely if you're in Maryland, please. She's great at what she does. Like she people who know my work ethic, my mother gives you the same work ethic and in all her product. And so, Mom, how you doing today? What's going on with
Doing
you?
fine. I was
Yeah.
working earlier.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
I know you tirelessly work. It's funny. People tell me, Mark, you gotta get out the house. You gotta get out the house. I'm like, all I want to do is work. But Ma, that's all you do. All you do is like work. It's like always on your mind.
It's not all I do, but
I mean, it's not, but it don't even feel like work to you, does it? It's
no,
just, yeah, I
no.
know. It's just because you enjoy doing it.
Right. I enjoy seeing the end result.
Really? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So Mom, we were having a conversation the other day and well no, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. First, how did you come into the occupation that you are now? Like, because you went to college for what?
I went to undergrad school, majored in math and minor in business administration. And then I immediately went to graduate school at the University of Pennsylvania at the Wharton Graduate Division, where I studied marketing and data processing, where
That's right, you smart. I forgot.
after that,
You did some math.
right,
Wow.
after that, I worked all the while I was in school. So every summer I worked. And after graduate school, I worked with corporate America and eventually went into education, teaching on a college level. And while teaching on a college level, I developed an interest in making sure my students had resumes, which someone had come to my class to see me who had also gone to the University of Pennsylvania and expressed that what they received from the Career Development Center, they were not good resumes. So I started doing resume writing workshops, and that led to other kinds of production for organizations that I was in, as far as having the quality work of production and providing that. And eventually I started my own business where I provided those kinds of items to other people. And now I've been doing it for 33 years. So I've been at my business for 33 years.
So Ma, this started with you making resumes? Like,
Yeah.
wow,
Right. Hmm.
wow, that's really
Doing resumes for my students
wow.
and doing resume writing workshops
Right, right,
and giving them pointers on how they needed to prepare their resume.
right, right.
Uh, that
This is
was,
really what's the word? Foretelling for me, I guess, or revealing, or I don't know. I'm probably choosing the wrong words, but no, I mean that's so dope. Like, cause I've seen the progress from that, and you would never think that it started from here. Let me help you with your resume. You know what I'm saying? Cause like you make
right,
T-shirts, you make banners,
right.
you make like cups. I mean, you could literally make this cup that I like should have just gotten from you, specialty marketing and printing. I don't know if y'all can see
It's a
that.
little blurred.
It's burning it out, but yeah, but
Yeah.
no, man, that's really dope. Wow, because I mean, because ChatGPT now, you can just write your resume in ChatGPT. You know that, right? Yeah,
Right.
it's ridiculous.
Mhm.
So wow. So if they had ChatGPT then,
Oh,
you may not be
may
doing what
not be
you're
where I am
doing.
now.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
because it started
right,
on the resume. Wow, that's so interesting.
right.
Wow. So, Mom, you grew up in North Carolina,
Yes,
Enfield, North Carolina.
yes.
How would you say your values and what you think about the world has been molded from that as a little girl?
Well, especially for my father. And
Okay.
my father had a business. He had a store and he also had a farm. And he too was the kind of person that his work was what he did every day.
Right,
Um, he would go in the morning and be there until he closed in the evening.
right,
And we helped him run the store. We helped him restock merchandise each day as whatever was sold. We put new things on the shelves.
right,
And it wasn't something that I considered again as work. It
right,
was
right.
what we did.
You do, yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
And did I ever get paid for any of that? No,
yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't ever expecting to get paid. I didn't know about getting paid
right,
or doing any of that. And it wasn't anything I did that I felt was difficult to do. And with that, of course, while in school, as I turned 16, the person who was at the school in charge of the buses for the school came out and asked me, would I drive a school bus? So I drove a school bus at
right.
16 years old.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Right. And that gave me a payment each month. So it was a little bit of money there that I saved while doing it.
How much did you get paid?
But I had to go to school every day. So why not drive the bus? That way I don't get left.
Yeah, wow, that's so amazing. That's crazy. How much did you
Right.
get paid?
$25 a month.
What? A month?
Well, right. Yes.
God, yo, times have changed.
Oh, yes.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
How much was gas then? Like
Well,
two
I
cents?
didn't have to get the gas. No, gas was no more than 50 cents. Or
Yeah,
even could
yeah.
have been, yeah. But I didn't ever have to put gas in the bus. They always came out and filled it.
Right. Well, Mom, there's been some special days in your life.
Mm.
The day you met Dad was pretty big. You have another child that was that was a pretty big day, I guess. But there's been one day that is exceeds all of them. And that was February 17th, the day your life changed forever. How has that day in 1976 changed your life, would you say? Like, has it been all you ever dreamed of when you just, or has it exceeded your expectations, or is it not
I don't think I dreamed of,
quite quick? Not,
right. So I can't say it met my expectations or it did not. It wasn't anything that I dreamed of or
so, Mom, as you know, because I tell people, I'm very I love my family very deeply, but I'm very different from my family. Would you agree to that assessment so far?
yes, I would.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but it's like man, like
But
I
let's just say, as a young person, you provided opportunities for us to enjoy, whereby during period of time, young and what have you, you did play basketball. So that gave us the opportunity to go and participate and watch that.
What you
And
try to say? Y'all not really into the
your,
shit that I'm into now?
as did your sister. Okay. So because I had my own business, I was able to go
Right,
when activities were taking place.
right, right.
So,
So, so the man that your favorite thing in the world has progressed into, um, do you see me, as much different than what you foresaw when I was young, around like 10 years old, and the stuff that I was into?
oh, probably so, because just as different opportunities came along, especially the technology aspect, computers coming into existence. I remember when you were in school in Atlanta and we were there and we went out and bought a computer for you to be able to use so that you could get your work done.
Yep.
Out of that, you began writing.
Right. But no, do you remember though the whole ordeal with that? I tell people, you asked me, Mark, do you want a computer? And do you remember what I first said to you?
No.
You don't, I told you no.
Oh, okay.
You remember you was like,
Probably did. You probably did.
I
Yes.
did. I did. I tell
Yes.
people this story all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like you called me, you were in Baltimore and you called me. And you was like, hey, we were thinking about getting you a computer. I was like, computer for what? She's like, yes, we were thinking so you could do your work, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I don't need no computer. He was like, what?
Mhm.
So for people to understand, this is like when computers ain't what they are now. All right.
Definitely.
Right. But but you was like, what? I was like, yeah, if I gotta do my papers, I can just go up to school and do it. And you was like, well, why don't you want a computer? And I was like, and I told you, because it takes up space in my apartment. Remember me telling you that? You don't remember that?
I'm not certain about that.
And you know, you asked me, you was like, well, what are you gonna put there in replace of it? I told you nothing.
Okay.
You don't remember that?
Not specifically,
Oh
no.
my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I remember that moment so much for a number of reasons, because my apprehension, my resistance to getting the computer. Because I walked in, I was out, and you guys were in the corner putting the computer up. And I walked in, I was like, what are y'all doing? What are you doing? You remember that I was upset. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we just thought we could get you a computer so you could do your work. And I'm like, no, you wasted your money. You wasted your money. You should have just given that to me.
So
You should
maybe
have
we
given
shouldn't have done it.
no, but the thing is, I'm telling you, you would have wasted your money, but you giving your money to me would have still been wasting your money. I would have just wasted it on something else, you know? But
Right.
it's funny, that resistance that I had to y'all get me that computer has changed my life.
Mhm.
For real. You know, that
Right.
was the start. Yeah, as you know, yeah. So yeah, it's your fault that I turned out this way.
Well, in many instances, how anyone turns out,
Exactly.
in
No, I'm
some
very
way,
thankful. I'm very
it's the
thankful.
influence of those that are around them. And
Right.
of course, I will say, we're not around you all the time. So we're not the only influence you have. Okay.
You saying I've had some bad influences? Is that what you're trying to say? Okay,
You
so
can tell us. You can tell us.
I think all my influences have been great. I don't look at if I can learn something from it and grow from it, even if I've fallen down, if I can get up from it, then it was a good lesson.
Oh, sure.
If
Sure.
nothing is ever
And the
definitely.
I think the creativity that you provide is what really, really amazes me.
Really, I appreciate
Yes, the creativity, your imagination,
thank
your development of what you do.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Did you see that in me when you were young, or is it something that just succeeded when I got older? Because when I was young, I did.
Well, it was in the aspect of you doing creative work by hand,
Right.
you know, on poster boards, but you also took every box that I had and changed it and converted it into, remember those belts that you used to
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
I would bring a box in the house and it would be gone
And
because
you turned into a
you were
wrestling belt.
creating wrestling belts.
I know, right?
Um, and no one was doing that at that time. And then eventually there were other wrestling belts, you know, if
Right, because it was from the big companies. Yeah.
right. But if we had only known how to go about
Exactly.
creating them and marketing it, that would
Mm.
have been um opportunity there.
I could have made y'all rich.
But not only that, but your artistic ability with things you would draw,
Right.
that creativity was there. And you later use the computer,
Right.
do
Yeah.
a lot of your developing
Yeah.
that you originally say you resisted.
I did. I did resist. Yeah, I really did. It's wild to think though how something that you resist so strongly has now in has so majorly impacted my life, in such a forceful and an overwhelming way, for real, because I don't write it's fun. I started writing on the computer, and as
Right.
I was writing on the computer, I had this thought in my head that real writing is done freehand.
Mhm.
So then I went back to there's about maybe 100 poems that I have that I sat down and actually like wrote, but like my writing's sloppy as shit, you know that, like, and I just went back to the computer, and so it's like, and I've written thousands of poems, but I got
I
like maybe,
know.
yeah,
I
but I got
know.
like maybe like a couple hundred that are just handwritten,
Mhm.
and it's wild, like, yeah, if I didn't have this computer, like. I think all the time what I would be doing. Like, I don't know
And
if this
I like your
creativity would have
thought
came.
process and your organization of how you do this by doing an outline. You do an outline of your thoughts
Right,
for how you're going to put together your whole story.
right.
And I mean, that in itself is a fantastic creativity that
I'm
exists with
so
you.
I'm so glad I had you as my guest. I didn't know you see me this
Oh,
deeply. Like, you
oh.
really you like, okay, all right, all right, all right. Yeah. So, I appreciate that. We see that you admire my creativity. As I admire yours and your work ethic. Like, um, for real, I tell people that all the time, man. Like,
But with that, not only the drawing aspect, but your poetry,
right,
putting together all the thoughts in your poetry and what is very, very, um, uh, how do I want to say? That's really great about what you do with that is times that I've seen your performance, you're not reading from a script or paper.
right,
You know your poetry
right,
and you're able to say it
right.
and do your performance without paper.
Does that surprise you as far as knowing that I'm dyslexic? Or
Yes.
right,
Yes.
okay,
And there are abilities that come out as a result of someone having a disability.
right,
There's another aspect that blossoms.
right.
This evidently is part of your
Yeah.
existence.
Yeah, 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 as well. Yeah. Yeah, I tell people I don't even know what dyslexia feels like because I don't know any other way that I learn. So, but I just use, you know, I use everything that someone could say as a negative, and I try to turn it around as an advantage. Like even if I have heartbreak, I'm like, all right, how can this inspire me to like really just get in there, you know? So it's like, uh, uh, I guess anything in my dyslexia, which I may have not have even understood at the time. I just turned it around and just tried to use it as an advantage for me, or maybe not even seeing that that's what I was trying to do, but that they're there. Because I honestly think one of the things in being dyslexic is that it, one of the things I think Jimacy taught me. For people who don't know, I went to school for dyslexia, a school called Jimacy Middle School from fifth to eighth grade, and they specialize in teaching dyslexics. And I really think it it taught me to pay attention, you know, like because dyslexics, our minds are moving a little differently, and we may miss attention to detail because we're thinking 4 or 5 steps ahead. So it's teaching me to slow down, and while I'm thinking ahead, to remember the things that I'm paying attention to as we go.
Mm.
Um, like for instance, there was you remember Steve,
Yes,
Principal Steve?
from Tennessee.
Yeah, he came to class one day, and this changed my life. Well, um he said, class, we're gonna do is our teacher, he was our principal. Actually, he came to our class, seventh grade. He said, class, we're gonna do something different today. We're going to play a game. I'm going to give you 5 new pieces each day. The only rules to the game is that I'm giving you 5 new pieces each day. These pieces are worth this much. You see what's worth what. It's up to you guys. You guys can trade and barter and do everything on your own how you wish. The only rules to the game is that I'm giving you 5 new pieces each day. That's it. And then he left the bag on the front table, right? And then he went in the back of class with Joe, and they was watching the class, and they would be talking, see what we're doing. And each day, the class would go around. They trade these chips, and I'm up there thinking like, who the hell is going to trade a chip that is worth 5 points for a chip that's worth like 10 points? Why would someone who has that 10-point chip do that, right? For like, it was really kind of like confusing like that. So the first day goes by, and then the next day goes by, and then the third day, what happened? We noticed, me and Josh, my classmate Josh, we noticed someone was taking chips from the bag at the front of the room, and we were like, "Yo, he's stealing, right?" And so, we didn't want to tell, so we're just, "Oh man, damn it!" And then the next day, Thursday, we saw more kids doing that, and we're like, "Yeah, damn, like we're gonna get behind, shit, like." So the third day, we still were like, we didn't want to lose our integrity or whatever. Or maybe we're too scared to do it or chip in or get caught. But, we just about the fifth day, I mean, the fifth and final day, Friday. And so by the end of class, and Steve came at the end of class, Steve was like, all right, we're totaling up these points. I want to ask y'all how y'all got these, right? And so then he asked, it was partners, a tag team. There was two to a team. So it was like, I asked so-and-so, Joe and so-and-so, how did you get this number? He's like, yeah, we traded this way, this way. Then he asked me and Josh, how did you get this? Well, yeah, we traded to this and this. And then they asked like David. It was like, David, how did you get this? Right. And before David could answer, some of the kids in the class was like, oh, he was stealing. And then you start hearing it. You're like, yeah, he's stealing. Right. And then Steve is just looking, right? And he's just looking at like the class, and all the class starts to join in, right? And then and then the class is like, he's stealing. Then it starts to quiet down a little bit. And then he says, I told you guys each day, every day in the beginning of class, I'm going to give you 5 new pieces. And the only rules to the game was that I'm going to give you 5 new pieces each day. And that's it. And so we're looking around and we're like, and then the kid was like, no, but he was he was stealing. That's how he was stealing. And then Steve again said, I told you guys each day before class the only rules to the game was that I'm giving you five new pieces, and it's up to you to do whatever you want with them. So basically, it was a lesson in critical thinking and critical listening. David didn't do anything wrong. Neither did any of the kids who went up there and took pieces from it. The only rules to the game was that Steve was just going to give us five new pieces each day, and it was up to us to do whatever we wanted with it. You know what I'm saying? So that was a lesson in critical listening, to listen to the attention to details. And really, I think that's why, like, when you, I don't know how much you've seen me talk to the AI, but when I talk to the AI, even when I have my conversations with people, I'm like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, can you be more exact? That's a little broad. And like, I've taken that and I can really say I have incorporated that in my life subconsciously, unconsciously, like subconsciously. Because it's been ingrained in me to really understand what someone is talking about. Like, I'm not afraid to ask the question.
Right.
Like, you know,
Right.
yeah, I'm not afraid to ask a question, to ask more questions, and like, I keep it going. So I wanna ask. So let's get into the Nick and Cranny here. What really prompted me to be like, oh, this is going to be very good. This is going to be very good. Okay, Mom. Obviously, I guess in your opinion, you think I'm out there, I guess. Would that be how you would classify me?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. You think some of my views are, what do you think about some of my views?
That you have an imagination that is beyond the average person.
Okay. All
I
right.
mean, it's still um mm, it's still a thought process.
Right.
It's thinking as far as what the possibilities could be, and you're thinking maybe beyond
Right.
just everyday thinking.
Right. Are you, how come, so when I was talking to you the other day, we got on what we believe about, well, I asked you what you believe. Because there's this book called The Book That Doesn't Even Matter, and you really treated it like the book that doesn't even matter because you haven't even read more than a chapter in it. I understand it's all good, you
I
know.
may have read more than that.
Ah,
Okay. So that's what you always want to think from your, and it's so hard for somebody else to tell you they have done something different than what you think they've done. So I'm sure I read more than that, but I can't tell you how much more I may have read.
Why do you think you stopped reading? Was it too much for you to
It was
take?
too much. It was too much for me.
Really? Is it like
Yeah.
is it like you,
Well, it also provided me the opportunity to know that you had researched
right,
tremendous amount of information to be able to put it together.
right,
And that wasn't an avenue of something that I knew about totally,
right,
not to the point that you researched it and can talk about it. So
right.
that wasn't my
So
avenue.
what do you think though shied you away from wanting to know about it? Because I mean, a lot of stuff in the book is basically talking about like why we're here, what's the meaning of life, like what we really are, like religion and quote unquote spiritual, I guess. I don't really like the
I don't
term.
know. It may have been at the timing that there were other things I may have been involved with. It could have been work. It could have been other activities I was involved with. So I can't really say.
Is it the information that you don't want to hear, or do you not care about it, or is it like too much for you to hear, or is it just like I don't know, it just doesn't really resonate with you?
I didn't get that far into it, possibly to be able to have an understanding of all of what you may have had there.
Right.
Um, but to know that you researched and pulled a lot of that information together, I admire you for that.
I appreciate you,
But
Mom.
to be able to understand it is an admiration greater than just pulling the research aspect of it. And for you to be able to talk about it and to understand what you have pulled together, I think is really great.
Thank you, Mom. I appreciate you. You know, I'm starting to feel like you like one of my biggest fans, but like, don't be telling me. You like the secret fan that be rooting me on from like, don't be telling me and stuff. Like from the corner, like, go, son, go. You
Well,
know.
I just think you have a great imagination. I think you have a great determination when you are working on something,
Right.
and nobody's going to take you away from it,
Yeah, for
uh,
real. That's-
until you've completed it and felt that you've done the job that you want to have done.
Can you believe this chick who I was dating at the time? We were having, I guess, a disagreement about something, and she told me, Mark, I don't think you work hard enough.
Oh, no.
Can you believe someone would say that to me?
Well, it all depends on what somebody thinking about,
Yeah.
you know, what do they consider work? You know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
In
exactly.
what terms are they talking about work?
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
exactly. Yeah. I
it may
mean,
not be work that you work at a 9 to 5 job,
right, right,
but your work is done anytime.
right, right. And my work is
Even
done all
within
the
a
time.
9 to 5 and even outside of 9 to 5.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've seen how I work. I'm like you. Like I'm nonstop. Like it's just non-stop. You know, it doesn't even feel like work. It's just like that's why I asked you, does it feel like work? And you're like, no, because I know something that's nonstop to people. Like, yeah, I don't really think it's
And I
work.
go every day.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I mean, I'll even go Saturday and Sundays if I have to, if I'm working on
I
a
know you
specific
will.
project or something. And
Um,
not only that, but sometimes I've even worked, at the office till 10 o'clock at night or
yeah,
something I might bring home to complete and do.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Mom, so about so you would rate when you would so all right, this became real interesting to me because one of the last times we talked like several years ago about this stuff, I guess, because I don't really like talk to you about a lot some of this stuff a lot because I know it's like it's not what bonds me and you. That's not what our relationship is, you know. But I find it interesting because I thought you were an atheist, you know, that you just believe you just faded to black and didn't believe anything. Even though I know you grew up in the Christian church and we would go to church when I was younger, you know. But I just thought like you didn't believe that. I thought you were an atheist. But come to find out you're not an atheist. But you just don't know what you believe.
Right.
Right. Which I actually admire for real. People who actually truly believe in something. I'm like, and when you revealed that to me, like I actually like me and my mother probably have more in common than she thinks about this stuff. I know I have dabbled in some medicines. You know, my group of people call them medicines. You may call them something different, but anyway, and been opened up to seeing some things. But what is your understanding? So you think there's something else after this? Like, what do you think this is? Do you think this was an accident, or do you think this was purposeful?
Oh, I cannot answer that. I don't,
Yeah, no, you can't.
I
But it's
don't
what you
know.
think.
No, I know. I
Uh,
don't know what I
You don't
think
know what you think, right?
because it's like, how long has any of this existed?
Right.
Not since. 1492.
Right.
No.
Alexa, stop. Right.
And,
You said not since 1492.
yeah, right. So there was existence before that.
Right.
And where was everything operated on the same basis as what we see a year as being roughly 365 days?
Right.
How were there other aspects of existence? Well, of course, I always go back to what you learned in the Bible, that there were two people, Adam and Eve, and I
You
always,
really believe that?
huh?
You really believe it started with two people?
Well, why do I ask? Well, where do all these different people come from?
Right.
Can't come from just two people.
Right. Otherwise, it'd be an
Oh,
incest.
so the religion teaches you two people, Adam and Eve.
Right.
So are you going to believe that we all exist from two people?
Right.
And that's why I say I have a problem believing that.
Right.
But it
When,
started with Adam and Eve.
when did you start feeling like that or having a problem believing in that?
Well, I would have to think probably when I was in college.
Really?
I had a professor named Herman Manning
This is good.
taught Western civilization, who taught this course that I didn't think I needed to have, but it was a required course. And in that course, they talk about different gods. Then that eliminates my thinking of God creating two people. And when you think about it, how does he create two people or rib from Adam to create the female? It's just all of those things that you are taught under the framework of the Bible that is pushed to that's the beginning of existence. And a lot of things that come out of that, no, I do not believe.
Right. So, so you don't believe in the story of Adam and Eve?
Not totally, no,
So,
no,
so what about Moses?
no,
No. Wow. What about Noah's Ark?
no.
All right. What about Samson?
Samson and Delilah?
Yeah.
No.
All right.
I don't believe in the walking on the water.
Oh yeah, see, I was about to get there. I was about to get there. I was about to get there. I was about to get to JC. I was about
Because I know I can't go out there in my pool and walk on the water.
right.
Okay.
So
Or can I go to the beach
right.
and eventually walk on that water? No.
So what's your understanding with were your parents religious? Did anybody like engrave in you like Jesus and Christianity and this is the way and all like that? Really?
No. No.
Because in the South it's real Christiany, but you didn't get none of that.
Well, I mean, I would go to Sunday school and I'd go to the church, which was right near me.
Do you think they were religious people?
I mean, not to the point that I would say there are people who you think believe all of what you've heard, So I
Right.
can't say that.
Right.
Yeah.
So did you ever when you were young, did you believe in the Christianity story? Were you like Jesus is the son of God and all like that?
I would think I did,
Yeah.
because that was all you knew. That was
Indoctrinated.
all you knew.
Oh, you
So
know.
you believe in what you know. You
Yeah.
can't believe in what you don't know.
Well, you're right. You believe in what you know. You're
And
right.
but then even what you know is what someone else may have told you. And eventually you develop your own questions around it to question how real is this? So that's kind of where I am with a lot of what I hear, what I may have, you know, what I was taught somewhere along the way and begin to question. Wait a minute. What do you mean they did this or this happened? Or you fed all of these people from this fish. But how many people did it feed?
I'm,
So,
I'm so I'm so proud of you. You don't understand. I think you're ready to read my book.
oh,
For real. I think you are ready to be cracked open. For real. Next thing I know, you're gonna be talking about you want to do ayahuasca and go to Peru and then have a ayahuasca ceremony.
let's see, I don't even,
Nah, you don't need to do that. That's
uh,
too much for you.
I think that you can take away some of the messages to life that there should be good.
Right.
But in it, you also see the bad. You see the fighting. You see the things that I don't like.
Right, right.
Um, so,
I tell people, I'm sorry, go ahead.
uh-huh. Oh,
I tell people people's biggest prejudices really is how they believe in God. It's because everything comes from that. Like it's not racism, it's not homophobia, it's not sexism. It's really religion. It's how you believe in God because you treat everybody according to what you think God accepts or what you think your God believes in. And but it's funny because religion, you're right, it just creates division and people don't see that. Like I think of all the people that I know that are really religious.
why are we in situations where there's famine, whether in Africa,
Right,
in Ukraine,
right.
or wherever? Why is it all of these bad things happening
Right, right,
when there should be good things happening?
right,
Um, why maybe even to say crime created against each other and death occurs or injury occurs? Why doesn't your God stop that?
right. Well, I mean, I can't answer that. Well, because it's not for
I
their,
know.
yeah, it's not for their God or God to stop that. It's for us to stop that and do something with it. I mean,
Well,
that's
that's
supposedly
yeah,
what free
that's
will is. Yeah.
right.
But then again, it's but no, I feel that's one of my biggest things. Like they credit if they do something, they say, they blame it on God or credit it to God,
You are your own
If
God.
you're your own God, yeah. It's like they're picking and choosing what they want to credit and blame on God for just to fit their own theological reasoning in their head, like
How do you blame God for negative things?
no, I agree, but what I'm saying is if you blame God for positive things, if you're like, "Oh, that was a miracle," like
I won the game today because God was there.
exactly,
There's
exactly.
this little kid that's on an Instagram thing where he tells his mom that the other kids won the game because God was, with them. And I think you may have seen it. I may have sent it to you.
I know I didn't
But
see that, but yeah.
yeah, but this little kid says, but they had God.
Right. Right, right. Right.
God was on their team. Okay. Right. So what makes your
Right,
team win
right.
and somebody else's not win?
Right. That's the funniest thing to me in sports, man, when they bring God into sports and thank God for the win and for doing that. I'm like, you really think God crept into your bones at that second and was like, hey, I'm gonna make sure this touchdown
Why
goes
is he going to have your team win over the other team?
right, exactly, 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 exactly. All of that, exactly.
You
People,
look at boxers.
yeah.
Look at Muhammad Ali and somebody else fighting. Which one had God that day?
Right, exactly. 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 People pick and choose what they want to serve themselves so it can make them feel comfortable, when really it's like you said, you are your own God. I'm really impressed with you for real. Like you really, I don't know, man. I'm starting to think that you have been reading that book, but you just didn't tell me because I'm pretty impressed. So what do you think is at the end of all this then? What do you think happens?
As happens when.
And let me get back to that, but let me explain why I'm pretty impressed. Because, Mom, you're saying I don't know. What I mean by that is there's a quote by Socrates, like the only thing I know is that I know nothing. And they call Socrates the wisest man during his time.
Mhm.
I- Like I admire that, and like to hear you say that, to like to hear you, but it's a belief that something is there because like this thing is it's too perfect, it is too perfect. So it's like, how does this just come from it? But just to understand that I still don't know what it is, that's
Right.
really yeah,
Right.
yeah,
No.
yeah. So Dad, I forgot what I was about to say because I have a horrible short-term memory. I
You
should.
ask me, what do I think
Right. Yeah, it happens at the end of all this.
at
Yeah.
the end?
What do you think happens at
When,
the
when is the end?
death? What do you
Well,
think?
I think when you die, you die.
That is what happens. You're right. You do die. But I mean, like, what do you think occurs after death? Do you think it's something you continue on, or do you think you fade
I
to black?
don't. I don't.
You think you just fade to black?
I don't know if it has to be black.
Right. But so I'm saying, do you think there is a part of what?
Fade to non-existence.
Right. Do you think though, whatever Gladys is,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or
Gladys
whatever.
is gone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that broke my heart. But what I'm saying is, whatever.
Only those who knew her will know of anything of Gladys.
Right,
I
right,
have not had anyone die,
right.
come back, or give me any indications that they are doing anything else
You're
outside
doing well.
of having died.
Right. See, I've had that. I've had a friend talk to me over my ear. Like, remember Will?
That's a dream. You probably
No,
had a dream.
it wasn't a dream. I was wide
Okay.
awake. No, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. I was wide awake. I was actually downstairs in your house, and
Then that's your experience.
no, I know, no,
Yeah.
I know, I'm not trying to convince you. I was just saying, no, like he spoke to me over my ear. Like I was wide awake. I was crying. I was like listening to a track me and him did, and I was crying. And then I looked up in there. I was like, why God, not like this, not like this. And
Yeah.
over my right ear, I just heard like static. He's like, I'm all right, Mark. And it just went out.
Mm.
I don't know, the longer it goes, I'm like, well, I don't know. Am I fooling myself? Did I really hear that?
Did I really experience that?
Yeah, even though in the
Right.
moment it was clear, it was
Right.
clear as day. But but no, so when I mean like after this, like, so do you think whatever is occupying Gladys, the body that we know as Gladys,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that continues on?
No,
Or do
I
you
don't.
you
No,
don't? So
no.
so you think you fade to black. You think nothing. You think
I don't know if it's black. You
right.
know,
You know what I mean? But it could be red. It could be green or something, right? Yeah.
well, doesn't it's non-existent. It's
Right.
not.
But okay. So you think you all right. All right, Gladys, right? The body will cease to exist. All right. Do you think you are Gladys, or do you think there's something else that is just occupying the body that we know as Gladys? What I mean, so that's kind of think what I am. I know I'm not really Mark. I'm something is just occupying the body that everybody knows is Mark, and that I think I'm Mark, but I know Mark thinks he's Mark, but Mark has also been cracked open to see that he's not really Mark. There's something else playing me.
Because you have experienced other aspects of something I have not.
I understand that. So I'm just asking you what you believe. Right.
I don't
So
believe
you
for me that there's any existence after death.
So then you are an atheist.
I don't, is that what an atheist
Well,
is?
an atheist believes in nothing.
That
Do you do you think there's a God?
there's something, but I can't say. I think it's a spirit.
You think it's a spirit?
When you say God,
Right.
you you think of a physical existence.
I don't, but most people
And
do.
and
I
I'm
do.
saying
Yeah.
I don't see it as a
Yeah.
physical.
No, this is yeah, it isn't physical. I mean, yeah, I'm not thinking of a physical. Um, but the more I understand about consciousness and the mind, like it makes you wonder how all this can come from something that is non-physical. And the more I understand about consciousness, I think I understand it's starting to crack open my understanding of how it can come to be. It is, I mean, it's not really there, truly. It's just the mind.
Mhm.
Excuse my French. It's just the mind. It's a mind fuck. It's the mind just doing all this, and it thinks it's real. Um, so do you think you're a spirit? Do you think
I,
this?
I am a
Do
spirit.
you
No,
think there is spirit occupying Gladys?
not really.
Not really. Okay. So you think you're just human and that's it?
Right. Hmm.
You don't think there's a soul to you?
There has to be some kind of, soul. I would think for there to be, uh,
Life?
for there to be a desire to want to do good, want to be good, want to help.
You think that's the soul? You don't think
Yeah.
humans could be like that just naturally?
I think there might be a combination of good and bad and indifferent, you know,
Right.
and I don't choose the bad.
No, I know you don't. You don't, man. You're a good woman, for real. I mean, one thing I admire about you and Robin, Ashley, is that you really are good people. You don't like hinder on. You don't
I don't
hold.
try to do things to people to
Right.
be mean or negative,
Right. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. No, and I can actually say that. Like, even though I may think I know more than like you and Robin or whatever about certain things. Like, obviously, we're talking about. No, just hear me out here.
Right.
About like I guess the cosmos and
Yeah. Hmm.
non-physical stuff we're talking about, and like there's still things that you and Robin do operate better than I and what I think that I know. Like I hold grudges. I can't lie. Like my shit, like I will, like my exes tell me, it's like, you're a mean ex. Like, yo, I will cut them off. And I'm like, no,
Hmm.
get out of here. No. But, but that's one thing I admire about like, you and Robin. It's like one thing that I actually admire about Robin, and I think she probably has taken this from you in a way, in a certain way that I remember she had told me one time um she was crying over something that someone did. I think it was about I'm not certain why I don't want to color
Yeah.
her saying what she said it was, but she was
Mhm.
crying over something someone did, and and then after a while she realized, she said, "Why am I crying over this person? That's them. That's what they did.
That's them.
That has
Right.
nothing to do with
Right.
me.
That's their meanness. That's
That's their meanness. That's their
their. existence. That's them.
Right, yeah. And she said ever since then, she's just been able to kind of like, eh,
No, it's
like,
not you. It's them.
right, right. She's been able to just be, whatever. Not like it be so
Mhm.
internal to her.
What it
Mm.
lets you know is who they are.
Exactly, exactly.
You know how
How
to,
to operate.
right.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But seeing as see, the thing is, what you two will do that will is better than I. Like you will operate while holding some type of boundaries and space and knowing, me, I like, no, shh, you ain't coming in this door. No, no.
That's
Like,
also your situation. Know situations of someone that I just don't care for, and I try to avoid them. Try to just stay away from them.
right,
Don't try to get into any, um, discussions with them for there to be any kind of argument or whatever. That's it.
yeah,
I just don't care
yeah, yeah,
to.
yeah. So you're not sure what happens after this.
No,
Would would you live life again if you had the choice?
I would say yes.
Yeah. What if
Yes.
it was as another person?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So you're not too wrapped
I
up
don't want to
in
be I don't want to be an animal because people
yeah,
treat
no,
animals bad.
yeah.
Uh,
No, no,
you
no,
know.
no, it's funny. When I was on the plane, when I was
Mm,
on the plane,
mm,
the very first two things that came to my head was because I think this is about reincarnation. I think I'll come back and be something else. As much as I love being Mark, hey, this is a one-time thing, I think. But when I was on the plane and I thought it was going down, I literally looked out the window and I said, wow, this jig is up. And then I said two things. I was like, man, I just hope I don't come back as an animal or a
mm,
Christian. I was
mm,
like, because people treat animals like shit and
mm.
Christians are shitty people. That's how I processed it. But then, all Christians ain't shitty people. I'm just being hypothetical.
No,
But
no.
no, but there are some that are, and Muslims and Jews too, like all of them. But I'm just saying, I took it as like for me, as you know, like I'm I'm very different from the fam. I don't think I come from a religious family, other than
Your
well,
nana.
yeah, I was about to say other than grandma, like dad's, my father's mom. But other than that, but I'm still, I'm I'm an alien, I'm an astronaut. So it's like I do think that when I was on the plane, I was like still I've grown past the dogma of religion. So I was like, man, I don't want to like backtrack. I don't want to come back as a preacher,
Mhm.
as a Christian preacher. I'd be so pissed. But then again, I wouldn't know because I don't know if I've been something else. Do you think this is your first lifetime? Do you think you've been something else?
Not really.
So you think this is your first lifetime?
Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm. Okay. Do you believe in reincarnation?
No.
No, you don't. So you think everybody here has one shot at it
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's done.
Right.
And
Hmm.
do you think they go somewhere else to having
No,
another?
they don't go anywhere. They die. That's it.
I, okay. I know. I'm saying though, the spirit, so you don't think, but you think there's soul living, you think you're a soul, you think there's soul to you, right?
I think when I die, that is going to be all of me.
Hmm.
And I'm not pushing for that, to happen, anytime soon.
I mean, no, me neither.
Mhm.
But I'm saying like, do you think, d- so you think, all right, do you, so you don't think there's a soul attached to you or operating you?
Soul.
I know. I
attached.
know. I don't like these words either, but I'm trying. Do you think there's some other form of intelligence operating with or operating you?
Me, but let's think about the computer, how it went from, well, even before you had that computer that you had,
Hmm.
there are other computers that are larger than that. And
Right.
actually, I worked as a programmer and we worked with these big machines that were computers. You wrote your own language. You wrote the language that that computer ran.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But all of that has come down to even your cell phone now.
Right.
It can hold and capture as much as that other computer was that I used to work with.
Right. Ain't that amazing? Because yeah, I remember that. You was working with
Right. It
IBM,
is.
right?
Yes. Huh?
And you were working with IBM,
Oh, Western Electric.
Western Electric. And,
Right.
and that's where you had the computer?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, because you had a big thing.
I had a
You-
had a
you-
computer that I used to travel
right.
with them and going to different locations for them, having it on the airplane, having it on under my seat and what have you. And it was a valuable machine. And one day I thought about it. So, well, what happened if I lost this?
Yeah, right.
Right. But um, when you think about that, do you think about the cells that are in your phone that allows it to work and compute and give you what we're looking at here right now.
Right.
So,
Ain't it amazing? And it all came from the earth.
yes, yes. And, but like the chips they're talking about making in China or making here in the USA. Okay, you make them, but how do you get them to know it's going to perform the way you want it to perform?
Right. That stuff is amazing, ain't it?
And how big or small is something within that chip
Mm-hmm.
that makes it work?
Right. Some people say this is alien intelligence. Do you believe that? Do you believe aliens? Do you believe in aliens?
Uh, they probably exist.
Right. You know how big the universe is, right?
Yeah, I know. I don't know how big it is,
Well, yeah.
but
You're a
right,
smart. You're a
no
smart.
one knows how big it is.
You're a smart cookie, girl. For real. I see where I get it from.
I mean, we have spaceships that go only so far.
Yeah.
We don't know how much further they can go.
Yeah. Well, do you think s- so do you think the stuff that we've been using with computers, the stuff that we have now, do you think it's human intelligence or do you think that they've had help outside of this earth and just not telling
It's
us?
been developed by human.
Right.
It's been developed by human, but who could imagine
Yeah. Who could imagine?
something so small
Yeah. Yeah.
controlling so much?
Yeah. I actually don't think one person could think of all this. It has to be a hive mind. Like the hive mind, like all minds joining together to bounce off. And yeah, I don't think one person
I
could.
remember when I was first introduced to the concept of the internet,
Hmm.
and it was in the 60s.
Hmm.
And another friend and I were talking about all of this when we were in high school.
Hmm.
And it was just interesting how all of this internet is going to come in existence. And I can remember later on when we used to live on Prince George, and I can physically see myself sitting at the edge of the bed thinking about how this whole concept can allow me to do my grocery shopping from home
Wow. Yeah.
and can visualize each aisle and
Yeah.
will take you down an aisle and you can pick the things that you want off of the shelf. And
Do that.
you know, it was all of that before it even
Actually, yeah.
about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. Mom, so what do you think about AI?
I don't know enough about it, but I want to learn more about it.
Right. Have you
Uh,
you seen me work with it?
I've seen you ask it questions,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And you ask it even when you go to Google or any search engine, you're asking a question and it comes back and but you look at that, it's amazing that you get that information that quickly.
Yeah, that
Then
quickly.
when you don't get it that quickly, you get upset.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Mom, when I had
Okay.
to when I had to write my book, you know how much research I had to do?
Right.
Now I just ask the question, it comes right there. Like it's amazing. It's right there at your fingertips. Do you think it's making us smarter or dumber?
I think it can make you smarter
Hmm.
because you have access to so much information.
Right.
Just you talk about you doing what you think about when I came through doing research.
Yeah, I know,
Okay?
right. You actually
Right.
had to read the book.
And even before
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
But yes, I think it can provide for people to be smarter because you ask the question, you sit there and you read it.
Yeah.
So you're learning.
Yeah.
Now, you're not learning all of the things that might be taught to you if you have effective teachers,
Yeah.
you, and not think that you need to go home and learn this all on your own.
Right.
No, that's not how I see teaching,
Right.
but yes, I think it provides the opportunity for people to be smarter.
I think it's
But
gonna
in anything, you still have to work at it.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna do both. I kind of think as you gain, you lose. I think it's just gonna
There,
be
yeah, there will be those people who don't want to work at it.
right, right. But no, but I also mean like for instance, like I think we see this in society, civilizations, for instance, like the building of the pyramids. I think humans did that. Hold on. I think humans did that. And I think they did it with sound levitation, using the magnetism in the rocks. Now, I don't think they had internet back then. So if we compare times, we have internet now, which I think is an amazing thing, but we don't know how to build pyramids. So what I mean is I think as you gain, like you start losing certain things. And as we use AI to progress us, there will be certain things in us that we will lose. It's almost like memory. Yeah, it's almost like memory. You can only like hold so much. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean, I can see people's critical thinking skills not being as sharp as it may have been, but I don't know. I mean, that's actually why like I actually try to like teach people now. I'm trying to teach people like how to think critically, like how to not like give up their free will of thinking in it. Because I can see this a lot in AI. They're going to let AI think for them and they're going to give up their free will. I can totally see it. They're not going to question the AI. Like I question the AI. Like I'm like, nah, how you know this? What's going on with this? All right. And even if I don't always believe everything it says, like, cause I take everything with a grain of salt, I would say. So, but I sense, I don't know. I sense an interesting future. What do you think about what do you think we're going to go into the future with? I say that because, you've grown through a lot of things in America. It's gone through a lot of racism and I almost see it recycling now. I felt at one point we were getting better, but now it seems like it's doing this little,
You look at the political arena and where there is hatred, or where there is the thinking that not wanting somebody else to do well, it generally comes out to be racism.
Right. I agree.
It's almost the like it's racism.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think AI will help the country progress through that, or do you think that's I don't know, not the avenue that's going to help us get over that? Do you think there's something else going to help us get over that?
It's real tough right now because never did I think I would be in this situation of today
Yeah.
with the racism existing the
Yeah.
way it does
Yeah.
today. I mean,
Today.
as we were getting through the years in the early 2000s and on, and
Right.
things were improving
Yeah.
across the board,
Yeah.
I ever think I would be in a situation that racism would be guiding those who are presenting the negative.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I can't lie. It's almost like Obama happened too soon. It's almost like it shocked the shit out of him. That was like, you know what? We're going to shake this last bit of racism we got now. Just,
well, what you also have to think of is that racism was there,
right.
but it may not have been visible.
Right.
You don't know how much it still was working behind the doors
Right.
or
Yeah.
under the table or wherever, but
Yeah.
just wasn't coming out
Right.
until you began to have those speak in terms of denying groups of benefits of good things,
Yeah.
taking it away. Uh, and I still say, I don't think we as a group of people did the things that we should have done to be able to capture our own wealth or our own abilities to do things rather than allowing it to be what others provide to you. I don't think we took advantage of moving ahead the way we should have.
Right.
And I always go back and say when we were fighting and trying to be able to, and I use the railroad concept, wanting to go across the railroad track to the other side to where other businesses were, and wanting to go there and buy things when you were denied the opportunity to do so, but wanted to go there. We did not also say, but we want you to come on this side of the track to
Right.
support our businesses also.
Right. Right.
We missed that opportunity.
Right.
So it wasn't that you should have only wanted to go to the other side of the railroad track,
Right. Right.
go there to go to their movie, to go to their clothing store, to go to their other
Right.
ice cream shop.
But you got to understand that's what blacks were taught when they were younger. That's what, like, only whites can drink this water fountain. So they're thinking that the
What I'm
water in the
saying.
yeah. So
Right,
they're
that's
like,
what I'm
we want
saying.
that clean water. We
We
want
did
that
not
water that's water.
we
Yeah.
did not take the opportunity to say, but we
Right.
products and businesses over on this side too
Right.
that you need to patronize.
Right. Right. So what do you think you think we're gonna you think Do you think it's going to get worse before it gets better?
I do.
Yeah, yeah,
Because it's worse right now. You,
yeah.
s- you know.
It's worse than it was 10 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Yeah, I know, I know. It's so I know, I know, I know.
Yeah.
Even it's so that's what's so weird to me. We have this technology, we have all these advancements and all these gadgets and stuff, but yet we still dealing with sexism, with racism, with homophobia, with all this
Right,
stuff.
right.
It's this imbalance. It's so weird. I'm like, yo, how can we
And
be
aren't we supposed to be learning
exactly, exactly.
to do positive
Right.
things?
To be tolerant towards people, to yeah, instead of being intolerant. It's so funny, man. Christians, a lot of religious people are the most intolerant people. Like it's something that it's funny. Jesus walked with the lepers, and they forget that because you have a lot of Christians that are just so, whether it's with racism, homophobia, or even if they're weirded out by the transgender issue. I'm like, yo, you think Jesus wouldn't have had love and compassion for these people? Like, but it's so wild to me how much that they take the stuff.
A lot of racism is right there in the church.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It is. A lot of their indifferences are there in the church, and they're the most judgmental people. They don't realize they mask it with them not being judgmental. It's like,
But
dude, just
then
because you think
there are other situations in the church is not.
no, exactly. It's
So
I didn't want to make a
it's
right, but I
both.
don't want to make a blanket statement. There's a lot of
No, I
great
don't make a
people.
blanket statement on
Exactly,
any.
exactly. There's a lot of great people that I know. Yeah, yeah, exactly. A
I
lot
don't
of.
say that all of one group is a certain way
Yeah,
or all of one group
yeah,
walks the same way.
yeah.
No.
Well, Mom, check it. We're about to run out of time here. I know
All
I've
right.
had you for a while, but listen, wait, say anything that you want for the people to know about you.
I mean, that one's I don't
That
know.
that you are the mother to the greatest
Oh,
thing in the
really?
world.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. But no,
Okay.
check out my mom, specialty marketing and printing in Baltimore, Maryland. She works hard, beautiful spirit. Mom, I love you so much. Yeah, and we are going to unplug from the system.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
That was fun.
Take care. Love you.
I love you. I love you. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was fine. I
All
wasn't
right.
sure what to expect.
Cosmidelic download.